So I'm just sitting outside, and so today marks 5 years since I jumped off my roof. And I don't know if I was intending to jump or whatever happened, but I know I wasn't in a good place in my life. And it, took put me in the hospital for 8 days. I broke my wrist, as you can see. I had to have surgery. Almost broke my neck. I say this because even though I've never said I was going to quit drinking the rest of my life, it's been September 1st, so in about a month, it'll be 5 years since I've had a drink. And I have made such a journey, and I hope I don't cry, but, it's been a journey, guys. Like, going to a war zone, and I wasn't in like a combat zone. We got bombed and shot at occasionally, but it wasn't like direct or anything like that. But we were still in the area, but we weren't going out on missions. I went with the dental unit, which still amazes me. But I remember my dad had died the year before. This Sergeant Anderson, who just retired, so happy for him. Grateful for him because he knew that I was thinking about deploying and that I wanted to do something. And he'd called me up and told me this dental unit was deploying, so I decided to take that jump. And it was really the best thing I did for me, I think, at the time, because sorry, I'm getting all emotional. I don't know, I wasn't well. Like, I was drinking a lot. I missed my dad, and then, of course, years later, find out he'd been molesting us. Excuse me, trigger warning, excuse me. So, it just. And then sometimes I look back at that like, dang, I wasted all that time mourning someone that literally just, I don't know, didn't care. That really hurt his children and really impacted us mentally for like the rest of our lives. Um, but yeah, so anyways, but yeah, he'd called me up and I volunteered to go. And I think about those moments and the mental health that issues that I've had, and just all the things that have gone on, and then coming back, and then within, you know really, like, what, within a year and a half after coming back from Iraq, getting HIV, and what, not even 6 months after I lost two soldiers, one that I was close-ish. I mean, me and him talked here and there, and I always wanted to go down to Texas to see him, and that is one thing I regret. And he had taken his life on a Monday or a Friday. I don't remember who took it first. I really don't. And that was in August of 2010. But one soldier took his life on a Monday or a Friday, whichever one it was. And the other one took it on a Monday or Friday. One was at the beginning of the week, one was at the end of the week, and they rolled the one soldier's body out of the arms room, and out of our building. I went to the arms room to check the weapons, and there's still blood everywhere. They had to have biomed come in. And it's crazy because the VA they won't pay anything. If I do that just because there's anything documented, they'll fight it to the day that they die, and they'll say that, well, you already had issues, and that just exasperated it, and that. And I think that's really unfortunate because you don't think that would impact someone's brain. It's not even about asking for money or anything like that. It's just, this happened while I was on orders, and I think that's crazy to me that they will fight you on everything. They fight everything they can. And I think that's really unfortunate. Um, but then the other soldier who I was kind of close with, you know, took his life. 20, I think he was 20, 21 years old. You know, and I think about all those things, and then what? Almost little less than 6 months later, I get HIV. Go to Alaska for a month while I'm still in the process of dealing with getting diagnosed with HIV. You know, I've always tried to take steps to make my life better, but then I'd always let others control me or do things, because that's my first boyfriend. Second boyfriend, I get on drugs, and all this is documented. And you look at you it I don't know, you just look at the journey, you look at your life, and you look at things, and you go. And the older I get, even though I have opinions on things, like, I don't try to tell people how to live their life. I don't try to tell people what is best for them. I mean, I will tell them my opinion if they ask for it. Sometimes I do solicit it. Um, because I just feel, that some situations, I feel sometimes maybe giving some insight. Me, I've been through a lot of things. HIV, been to a war zone. Drugs, alcohol. And being abused, mentally, physically, all that stuff as a child and everything else. Like, I don't know, you just think about those things and you wonder about life sometimes. And some days I really don't know how I'm still here, but then, I remember, hey, I'm strong and I'm definitely durable and I try to fix everything that I can and I'm not perfect. I've made a lot of poor decisions in my life, but it's just crazy to think that 5 years ago I jumped off my roof, in 8 days. I think I was in ICU for 2 days, and then they transferred me to a rehab facility right across the street, and I was in there for 5 days, 6 days, something like that. They released me, I had my little wrist thing and my neck holster thing, whatever you want to call it, and yeah, and I began my journey of healing, and it's been one hell of a journey, guys. I'm very grateful to be here because even though I'm sad a lot, and some days I feel really defeated. I got the bankruptcy going on. I got all this other stuff that's going on, and I just feel like every time I turn around, like my house is falling apart, but I make too much money to get any help from the VA. I mean, it's all about money anymore, and I think it's just sometimes people just need help, and whether you're a veteran or not, like sometimes you just need help. Sometimes if someone saves you, a few $1,000s or fixes something, it also helps you mentally. And I just think that we don't do that. Like, I don't think that I do like capitalism in the sense that you can come from nothing to become something, but it is getting to the point where it's just like so many people are so wealthy and there's so many people that are starving and dying and suffering. It does become eventually a question of like, damn, man, can we just be a little more kind? And I don't know. So, anyways, I'm just venting because it's been almost 5 years, and I'll do another video obviously when I'm my 5 years sober. So, um, but I just think about everything, guys, and it's been one hell of a journey. I'm very grateful for anyone that listens to me, and loves me, and wants to just be my friend and understand the suffering, but also understand the fact that we're all in this together, really, and we should all be loving one another and really helping. And I'm not perfect at that either, but I actually, to be honest, people use me all the time. Even now, people ask me for money, but never ask me how I'm doing. Um, people that I'm not close with, and it's just funny to me how you can ask people, even knowing they're suffering, you can ask them for resources, but you don't check on them or do anything. It's just what's convenient for you, and that's how a lot of people are, sadly. And I don't expect people to be my best friend, but if you do something kind for someone, you would think they'd take some type of notice in your life. But having expectations when you're kind to others is really foolish, and it just leads to being upset. So I try not to have expectations anymore. But we're human, so we definitely do. And I think it's foolish to say people don't. But I don't know. But my head's starting to hurt. I'm going to go find some medicine. You guys know, look at my face still. Oh, after falling in my trash can. Oh, my gosh. Talk about a hot mess. But I love you all. Have a great day. Stay blessed. Woo!